Hey guys, welcome to Module 3. I wanted to do a short overview of the first part of your final project, and that is your assignment this week is to identify a municipal official that you intend to interview. And so there are a couple of things that I think are important to understand as we begin this first step towards your final project. So this is going to be a non-graded assignment, but it'll be something that I can review and then provide you feedback to just to make sure you are on the right track. All right, so the instructions for this week are you're to submit the job title of the individual who will be the focus of your interview for the final project. Why did you choose this particular municipal government professional? And then there's a couple reminders. Number one, remember to use the interview consent form to obtain formal consent from the interviewee prior to the interview. And I will show you that in a minute. And then it's also, as you can see, it's attached here with the assignment. And this document you can just send as an email attachment to the person you're going to interview, and then they can fill it out and they can return it. There are a couple things that you can do before or after you send it, preferably before, and I will show you what those are. The second thing is to please make sure you take a look at the final project grading rubric. And I will touch on that here in just a little bit. Okay, so again, this is your first milestone towards your final project. It is an assignment, but it's not going to be graded, but you will be able to incorporate this into your final project. All right, so let me call up here the grading rubric for this assignment, because I think there's a couple things I want to make sure you understand. First thing is you're going to be conducting an interview of a municipal official, elected or appointed. So that's going to narrow the scope of your choices. So you can, as far as an elected official, you can interview a mayor, a council member, city treasurer, if your city treasurer is elected. Those are the type of folks that are the elected group, all right? And then there are the appointed group within your municipal government. And those are usually going to be your department heads, like a police chief, fire chief, finance director, community development director, those kind of positions, all right? Those are the type of people you need to interview, because those are the type of people who are dealing with many of the issues that we have been discussing so far, okay? So that's the type of person you need to interview. Again, we're looking at somebody like a police chief, a fire chief, a city manager, mayor, a council member, a head librarian, any of those people that are overseeing a program or services within your local government, all right? Do not, let me repeat that, do not interview a police officer, a firefighter, or a clerk, or somebody like that. We're looking for somebody that is appointed to the position, and again, usually those are going to be your agency heads, your department heads. And I think doing that, you'll also find that it will be much better in terms of the information that you receive. For example, maybe how a budget cuts might impact them as a department head or something along those lines. So we'll talk more about that a little bit later. Okay. So again, selection of municipal official, and we're talking about municipal government here. Let's stay away from school boards, special districts. Let's focus on municipal governments for this final project. Okay. So again, elected mayor, city council member, appointed finance director, police chief, fire chief, head librarian, community development director, etc. All these people are appointed to these positions. So remember to use the interview consent form to obtain formal consent from the interviewee prior to you beginning your interview. So what you need to start doing now is thinking about who you're going to interview, start working that process. You can interview these people in an array of ways. If you want to send them the questions, have them send you the response, or if it's easier for you to go ahead and just call them on the phone or go visit them and interview them. Ideally, it'd be nice if you did something at your local level, somebody from your city government, so you have a better idea as to how your city government functions and what some of the issues are that are faced by your city government. Now, this interview consent form is located in the assignment guidelines and rubric section, and I just showed you where that was. Some things that you'll need to remember for your interview consent form is a course title, and this is PAD 332, Municipal Government Operations, and our course code is Q2496. So you should have that information somewhere, but just in case you didn't, I'll also point that out again in my notes here with this announcement. Okay, so again, start thinking about which municipal employee you're going to interview. Again, it has to be an elected or appointed official. And don't forget your interview consent form. Like I said, you could just email it to them and they can fill in the blanks themselves. And some of those you can fill in before you send it. All right, let me scroll down here for just a little bit more. This is what you're going to be working on now, Milestone One. You're going to submit a working title of an individual that will be the focus of your interview for the final project. The format of this milestone should be a Word document, and it will not be graded separately. The final project rubric will be used to structure feedback. This milestone will affect the final project grade under the milestone submission critical element. So again, make sure you take a look at the assignment guidelines and the grading rubric so you have an idea as to where this assignment is going. But the first part again is municipal official selection. Okay. Next is the grading rubric, and there's a couple things I want to point out in the grading rubric, so please make sure you make a note of this as you begin to work on your assignment, and that's research. As with our short papers, the grading rubric just says many scholarly, some scholarly, and few scholarly in terms of scholarly sources that you need to incorporate into your final project. So very few scholarly resources will be defined as one or two. So if you put one or two scholarly resources only, this is where you will be graded. All right. Some scholarly sources will be defined as 3 to 4 scholarly sources. And many scholarly sources will be defined as 5 or more scholarly sources. All right. So keep that in mind as you begin working on your project. Obviously, you could always use our textbook as a source, and perhaps some sources within our textbook. In other words, what sources did the author reference that you might be able to also apply? And then that way you now have a second source. So that's going to be part of your research. So that's how I'm going to define many, some, and very few. Okay, so those are going to be the definitions. So please make sure, again, that you take a look at the grading rubric, pull it up, print it up, have it ready, have it available for you as you begin to work on your final project. Okay, so the last thing I want to highlight is the consent form, and here it is here. And the consent form is a couple areas where you need to put in specific information, and one of them is the course code, which I gave you, PAD 332. I'm sorry, the course code is the number I gave you, which identifies our class, and that's Q2496. And then the course title is PAD 332, Municipal Government Operations. So you can go in and change these, and probably ideally to change those before you send it to the person you're going to interview. At the bottom it says here, should you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact the, instead of the course code, you just put my name. Contact the instructor, and then if you want to put in parentheses Jim Doyle, you can give my email address and my phone number. And I think that would suffice. So you can go in there and make those adjustments on the document when you when you open it up, you can go in there and change the course code. You can delete this and put in this course code in the course title. Okay? So that's it. That's what you're doing on Milestone One. Again, if you have any questions, kind of let me know. But the key thing here is that your municipal official needs to be elected or appointed. And again, we're going to try to stay within municipal government. If you live in the county area and you're serviced by county government, then go ahead and interview a county official if you wish, or you can interview a municipal official. It's totally up to you, but I would try to stick within the governing body of which you live, only because I think you'll get much more out of it and you'll be able to walk away with a better understanding of what the issues are that face your local community, which is, I think, an important part of this class. All right, that's it. So anything else on that, Connie, let me know. And then I'll look forward to reading your brief assignments this week on who you plan on interview and why you select that particular person. Okay, that's it. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks, bye.